Before we get started, just a disclaimer, Fifine did send us the K690 microphone for review, but as usual, we're not paid to say anything besides our own opinions, and Fifine does not get to see this video before it is published. We just want to say thank you to Fifine because this is the second microphone they have sent us. Let's get straight to the point. The audio you have been listening to is straight out of the Fifine K690 microphone with the cardioid pickup pattern recording straight into my MacBook Pro. I haven't done any editing to the sound because I don't want to assume everyone doing any tweaking when using this microphone. This is straight out of the K690 without any tweaking. I'm trying to simulate a usual sitting distance away from the microphone, which I have about 1 foot between my mouth and the mic. Just to give you a quick reference here, this is how it sounds like after tweaking the audio. It should sound a little bassier and more podcast-like. So yes, you can definitely use this microphone for podcasts. Another thing that is worth mentioning is where I'm recording. It's not sound treated at all. I'm just sitting in my living room right now. This is again because I don't want to assume everyone having a sound treated room. If you do, pretty much any microphone will sound good. For the volume of the mic, I try to set it as low as possible in the mic, then boost up the input volume on my MacBook Pro because it can eliminate a lot of unwanted hissing noise. If you turn the in-mic volume too high, the mic will be too sensitive and it will start picking up all kinds of noise. Before we talk about other features of the mic, let's test the most important and obvious feature of the K690, which is the polar or pickup patterns and sound isolation. Other features don't really matter if the mic doesn't sound good. When it comes to polar or pickup patterns, the Fifine K690 has 4 patterns to choose from, which is similar to other USB microphones on the market. The first one is stereo, which actually gives you the feeling of hearing the surrounding where you can tell if the sound is coming from the left or right. This pattern is good for recording sounds that you want to isolate the direction. For example, you can put this mic in the middle of a band recording session. You can consider this recording pattern as the most realistic. The second pattern is omnidirectional, which is a 360-degree recording pattern. This is similar to the stereo pattern except it will not separate the sound from left to right. Everything will sound similar no matter which direction it is coming from. The third pickup pattern is cardioid. This is good for streaming, video conference, or one-person podcast because it will try to only record sound coming from the front of the microphone and isolate everything else. This pattern will give you the riches or what people usually describe as the radio voice. The last pattern on the K690 is bidirectional. This is very similar to cardioid but for both the front and the back. It will try to block the sound coming from the left and right. This is good for interviews or podcasts with 2 people facing each other. Let's try to test the sound isolation of each pattern. What I'm going to do is to play some white noise around the microphone in different modes so we can see how good it picks up and rejects sound. How good is the K690? I'll let you be the judge. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is to do an audio test on the Fifine K690 when it comes to polar or pickup patterns and isolation of sound. What I'm going to do is to set it to different modes and play some white noise and also to move around the microphone to show you how it sounds like with different patterns. And I have the microphone facing this way now. This is the front because I want to go to the other side when it comes to testing the bidirectional pattern. So the microphone is facing me right now, which is your left. And if I am moving the white noise, let's say to the back, this is left, the front is the right. So this is back, front, left, right. I have the microphone set up for the first pattern, which is the stereo pattern. You should be able to hear the difference. It should sound really different compared to before already. You can probably tell if the sound is coming from the left or right. So I'm going to play some white noise around the microphone so you guys can hear the direction of the sound and also sound isolation. Again, the first mode is stereo, which is 360, but you will be able to tell if the sound is coming from the left or right. If you have headphones, put the headphones on and just don't set it too loud. I'm going to play the white noise now. Again, this is the stereo pattern. So let's say if I'm talking on the left of the microphone, you should be able to tell that my voice is coming from the left. And if I move to the right, it should sound like I am talking on your right side. The second pattern that we're going to test out is the omnidirectional, which is a 360 recording pattern. It should record everything around the microphone right now, but it will not tell if the sound is coming from the left or the right. It will just be 360. So if I'm talking on the left side of the mic, it should sound pretty similar to if I'm talking in front of the mic or the right side of the mic. And if I'm playing the white noise, it should pick up around the microphone, no matter where the sound is coming from. Again, that's the omnidirectional, which is the 360 recording or pickup pattern of the Fifine K690. The third mode that we're going to test out is the cardioid pattern, which is what you have been hearing at the beginning of the video. And this pattern will try to just record sound coming from the front of the microphone, which is this direction right now, and isolate whatever that is on the left, right, and the back. So if I'm talking in front of the microphone, it should sound different if I'm at the side. This is again me talking in front of the microphone, and this is me talking on the right side of the microphone. And if I come all the way to the back, it shouldn't be as loud as before, even if I'm talking with the same volume. So this is the cardioid pickup pattern. Let's try to play some white noise to see how good the microphone can reject sound from the side and the back. Again, this is the cardioid pickup pattern of the Fifine K690 microphone. The last mode that we're going to test out is the bidirection mode on the Fifine K690. This mode is going to pick up sound from the front and the back of the microphone and try to isolate sound from both left and right. This is good for interviews and podcasts with two people sitting facing each other. Let's say I'm sitting on this side right now and the other person is sitting on the other side. This is coming from the front of the microphone, and it should sound pretty similar even if I'm sitting on the other side of the microphone. So now I'm at the back of the microphone, and it should sound pretty similar to when I was at the front of the microphone, because this bidirectional pickup pattern should pick up sound from the back and the front of the mic, but isolating sound from the left or right. So let's say if I'm on the left side of the mic right now, it should sound a little bit more quiet compared to when I was at the front or the back of the mic. Same thing if I move to the right side of the mic. Sorry that I'm blocking the camera, but this is the right side of the microphone. Let's try to play some white noise to see if the sound isolation is good for this bidirectional mode on the K690. Again, this is the last mode on the K690 microphone. This is the bi-directional mode on the microphone. To be honest with you, I'm very impressed by the sound quality of the Fifine K690 microphone. Of course, if you are an audiophile or you need to record professional audio, you won't be looking at this mic. But for streaming, podcasts, interviews, song recording, online content creation, the K690 is definitely more than enough. Before we talk about other features of the K690, we should keep in mind that it is almost $40 cheaper than the Blue Yeti mic, which is pretty much the direct competitor of the K690 when it comes to USB mics. At $90, this microphone will surprise you with the audio quality. One important feature of the K690 is the real-time monitoring with the 3.5mm headphone jack. You can just plug in any wired headphones and there is almost no lag when it comes to latency. When you talk to the mic, you hear your voice right away, and you can control the volume of the headphones with the built-in dial. On the mic, there is a mute button where you can mute the microphone completely by one press. When the light is green, the mic is on. When it is red, it is off. This is especially convenient when you are in a video conference and you want to mute your mic. You don't have to look for that mute button on the screen anymore. At the back of the mic, you have the input gain button to control how sensitive the mic is and the pickup pattern button. As I said before, try to set the input gain as low as possible on the mic and set the input volume as high as you can on your computer to get the best sound quality. The pickup pattern button changes the pickup pattern of the mic. At the bottom of the mic, you have the headphone jack, a mounting point for other mounting options, and the micro USB port for the USB cable. I'm not sure if it is a requirement, but as I said in my previous video, it will be much better if Fifine starts using USB-C port instead of this micro USB port. The USB cable that comes with the K690 is a very thick and high quality cable, but I would like to see a nice braided cable so it looks nicer on the desk. The length of the cable is a little longer than 6 feet, which should be good enough for most users. When it comes to mounting options, it comes with a 3/8 mount at the bottom of the mic, which is pretty interesting because if you want to mount the mic onto a boom arm or a mic stand, you will need to use the adapter that comes with the K690. Maybe they should consider flipping the mount? The last thing I want to talk about is the build quality of the Fifine K690. It is very, very solid and hefty because it is almost completely made out of metal. It is definitely heavy enough to be stationary on the desk, especially when it comes with some rubber feet under the stand to prevent it from sliding around. One thing that I really like about the K690 is the matte black finish of the microphone. It looks very cool and clean and you can easily match it with most of the setups. The only thing, as I said in my previous video, is I really wish they can make the USB plug matte black too, just that last little detail. Oh, besides the build quality, the size of the K690 is also very compact considering all the features and pickup patterns that it offers. It is a lot smaller than, let's say, a Blue Yeti mic. You can literally put this mic and a laptop and a camera in one backpack and you have your show on the go, which is awesome. That's it. Those are my thoughts on the Fifine K690 USB microphone. At around $90, I definitely think you are getting more than what you're paying for. The audio quality is more than good enough for most of the contents nowadays. If you are looking for a budget microphone to up your audio level, not literally, the K690 from Fifine is definitely a great option. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.